Season 2, in my opinion, is a pretty significant jump up in quality from Season 1. I feel like I have so much more to say about Season 2 because I just think the character development in Season 2 is wild, and we very quickly start getting to a place where we can actually start talking about the relationship that's starting to be peppered in, starting to be breadcrumbed, because it feels like it takes a while to get to a place where the show's engaging with Xena and Gabrielle as a thing, as an item. But really, it doesn't take very long. I'm actually, now that I'm sitting here thinking about this, we only really have to wait until episode 5 before something happens in the text that's like, oh, wait a minute. If you're back here and you were with me for season 1, I'm delighted that you've chosen to come back. And if you're new here and you just were waiting to jump on for season 2, I'm happy to have you along with us for the ride. I have a Patreon if you want to access a bunch of extra bonus stuff. You can also become a channel member if you want early access to YouTube videos and some other fun stuff. Now that we've done the sales pitch, let's get into it.
These are centaur totems.
Dagnan's already been here.
I never like the centaur stuff. Never like it.
I fought the centaurs a long time ago. Can only hope they believe I'm here to help.
When the Amazons show up, I'm like, yay, great. You know, I have my problems with how the Amazons are in the show, but I like the storylines attached to them, whereas the centaur stuff, it's just, I'm sorry, it's never interesting. Never, ever, ever.
Gabrielle, get your staff ready.
Centaurs?
No.
We're in Gabrielle's strawberry blonde era. They both look so different in season 2. Renee's been training, obviously. You can see the fact that she's been training. Different hair. And she looks older, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's actually a good thing for what this season does, for her not to be so baby-faced. And Xena's fake bangs are a little bit out of control this season. They're just a little bit too sharp. But season 2, they have such a distinct look to them in season 2. You know when you see a screenshot of season 2, you can immediately place it. The centaurs actually don't look that bad in terms of the effects and stuff.
Dagnan's here for the Ixian stone.
And what are you here for, or shouldn't I have to guess?
Lore drop incoming.
She killed my father! She killed the great Barias!
Leave us now.
Was he great? I don't care much for Barias, to be honest with you.
Do you know him?
Yes.
Do you know him?
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
He's my son.
I mean, this was pretty shocking. I was shocked. And I also really didn't like it. Solon's inclusion in the show purely because of the season 3 drama. It's all worth it because season 3 is just so goddamn good. Solon's existence is justified by the things that we're able to do with Gabrielle because of a result of his existence and death. When I was watching this and they were like, oh, she has a 10-year-old son, I just thought that was absolutely absurd. There was something about that. I didn't like the rub of it. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I see this, but you know.
All of us are willing to die to keep you from that power. And Barias, the man who betrayed Xena.
Yeah, you don't really want Xena having access to anything really. Interestingly, she has the wherewithal to be like, I don't want this child to be like me, but she also doesn't have the strength or the whatever you want to call it to be like, I need to get myself out of this life. Because this could have been an opportunity, right? But everything in her mind says no.
I want to talk to you.
I told you everything.
Girl, you keep your secrets. Gabrielle's so pushy in this episode.
How could you walk out on your own child?
You don't understand.
She's written a bit weirdly in this episode, actually. A little bit out of character, almost.
But you are here now. You're gonna tell him, right?
Get out of my way.
Xena!
I do like the tension between them in this episode, though. And I'm going to say it, we've been waiting for me to say it. When do I think that Xena really starts looking at her in a certain way? In my opinion, this episode, there's a moment in this episode where she looks at her And I think she sees somebody that's older, that has more of a concrete sense of self. And I think it's a little bit different than how she looks at her in season 1. I can see it in my mind. I'm not sure when it is in the episode, but I have it.
I need something. I need anything to fight her with.
Yeah, you're gonna need all the help you can get, loser.
How I raise my son is none of your business. You gave up that right a long time ago.
Yeah, you don't get to have an opinion now.
I see so much change in your eyes.
Yeah, an entirely different person. We're not going to talk about the timeline and everything. There's literally no point. This show, they did not pay enough attention to the timeline. They messed it up a million times over. So I'm just not even going to care about it. A bit frustrating, but whatever.
For 9 years, Solon has been my son. I love him more than my very life. And the thought of losing him.
Xena Gab age gap relationship. Problematic age gap relationship.
I can see why the Centaurs tried to stop you, and why Boreas turned against you.
She's so blunt.
And he should know that.
Don't you even think about it. This is none of your business.
I just don't believe that Gabrielle would be like threatening to tell Solon. I think giving her a little bit of an undercurrent of that and some judgmental aspects and showing that she's naive and doesn't understand Xena's perspective and that she's inserting herself where she doesn't really belong. I think all of that is fine and good. I just think that they overcook it, and I think it's probably the way that Renee was directed. It's a little bit too angry and blunt, and I think it's probably more in the direction than the writing, although, don't know. Maybe because I'm not a very maternal person, I'm never really into this. Oh, surprise, the heroine has a child thing that you see quite a lot. I don't dislike it, I'm just not, it's not something I really connect with.
My uncle says she was wonderful. She never thought bad things about anyone. Even you.
Yeah, probably better to just let him have that nice vision.
I could sing for you.
So sad. I do really love when Xena and Gabrielle have their little tiffs and arguments though. Even though I do dislike Gabrielle's dialogue in this, I do enjoy the conflict.
He knows about your son!
We do have to stand Solon though, because in season 3 he's so Yuri-pilled in the bittersweet. He's like, let me arrange all of this to get you all back together.
I just want to talk to you, get to know you a bit.
Why?
To be your friend.
I forget that Gabrielle really actually has quite a lot of interaction with him. Renee's in beefcake Barbie mode. We love it.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get my son.
Hey girl, that would have been a good moment for you to have stepped up and not let them take him. But we need it for the episode. I guess this is maybe my problem with the episode, is that very much like, we needed this person to do this at this time for plot reasons. And that's the case when you write any TV show. But you usually conceal it a little bit better.
I'll be in my tent. The key.
Although Gabrielle hasn't reached her peak fighting yet. She's not as capable. This guy's so grimy, dude. I think we have another, like, sexual kind of threat. Like, oh yeah, sleep with me and I'll give you your son back. Again, the show really does a lot of this.
I just want a bit of warmth.
Ugh.
If only you were human.
She's a better woman than me. I would have a few extra kicks in places that would have prevented him from ever trying this again. I would have rendered him incapable. I love season 2 Xena so much. I love her characterization in this season. I love that we drop Boyfriend of the Week, mostly. the start of season 2, but it has moments of brilliance in the first half, and then when you get to the second half of season 2, we're in such a stride and there's so many good episodes. I mean, the show does so much this season. It's crazy the leaps that we take. I mean, we get our first, like, kind of kiss in episode 5. That's wild. That's actually so quick.
What good is a sword without an arm to hold it?
I've never broken a bone. I'm so scared. When something hasn't happened to you, it usually just means that it hasn't happened to you yet. I'm so scared. I don't want to break a bone. Tell me how many bones you've broken. Tell me how many bones you've broken.
Where did you come for me? I thought maybe you could use my help.
Very, very sweet stuff. I said this on Twitter, there are only 2 characters in the show that Xena really softens for in terms of her vocal timbre and her micro expressions in her face, her body language. There are only 2 people that she melts this way for, and you've got one of them here in Solon, and I probably don't have to tell you who the other one is. Serene, maybe, but yeah, still a little bit different. I think she's a little bit more guarded with Serene, a little bit.
I don't want to talk about my father anymore.
Neither do I.
Did he hurt a lot of people?
Is she gonna tell him the truth?
Yes, he did.
Really lovely scene.
We have men with us. We'll take our chances. Still, Gabrielle has a point.
Shocking, but true. Yeah, Solon's a part of their little tribe.
Follow me.
Girl, stop smiling. It's so weird.
All the evil from Ixion's wicked centaur is in that stone. Whoever owns
The subplot is... yeah... meh. I don't love the idea that, like, the badness could be contained within a stone. I don't know.
We've got to find a way out before Dagnan gets here.
Don't think it's a particularly compelling idea, because it takes away the agency from that group of characters. Like, they're not noble out of a choice, they're noble because they were made that way.
My sword!
Girl, did they just put a little LED light or something? Do you know what? I'll take hammy props over CGI stuff any day.
I've got so much to do. I'll have to make a list.
I do like a to-do list, I have to say. I find it very hard to function without a to-do list, actually. What is going on? Okay, my memory's been jogged. I know that he turns into something.
How's Solon?
He's okay. I'm going to resplint his arm.
It's this scene.
But when you jumped at me earlier, I deserved it.
Yes, you did.
Well, I pride myself on being your friend. It's okay.
Cute.
I'm here for you.
Always.
Right, it's right here. Just a little kind of like flicker down. I don't think Lucy was doing that on purpose. I don't think it was in the script. I don't think she was directed to do it. I just think that it's a natural byproduct of the chemistry and the episode and the way that the season is heading. Things just linger a little bit more, and when she looks at her, it's different. Num 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 num. How exciting that we're on season 2. How exciting.
Xena's pretty amazing, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back to old Gabrielle tricks. Working overtime for Xena's image. She's running Xena's PR.
I find it hard to understand the hatred that she gets sometimes when we travel. From people who just don't know her the way I know her.
No, they know her. Just,
Do you still hate her?
None.
Gabrielle, you're going to understand it a little bit more when we get to the price. Then you're going to understand.
What do you want me to do?
Protect Solon.
Okay, a consensus. We'll be in the barricade.
Gabrielle, our first Gabrielle of the season. It is such a juicy, cool, complicated part of their relationship, though, that because it's, oh my god, because it's in an in-betweeny stage a lot of the time. In the price, like, if they were in a full-blown relationship, you could quite easily watch that and be like, yo, this is borderline abusive, like, she's shoving her around and, like, really, like, physically getting in her face and, like, all of these things. And then, obviously, in the bittersweet as well. Messy, messy, messy. We're here for it. It's interesting, though, how things might play differently if it wasn't two women. I'm wondering how people would perceive some of those scenes differently or not differently. We're not making any moral judgments here or framing things as anything. I'm not making a stance here. I'm just saying it's an interesting point of contention that I've seen people discussing. It's an interesting one.
You're trying to make me angry. I know your ways, Xena.
It's interesting she calls him, she says that he's not human earlier, that he's monstrous, etc.
You can do better than that.
And then we've literally turned him into a monster, something inhuman. We've made it literal. I'm wondering if people bristle at the fact for this character they chose to make him. He had obviously like the kind of deformed part of his face from the scar or whatever, and then he was disabled as well. I'm wondering if people bristle at that characterization. Obviously in media there's a history of disabled or deformed characters being portrayed as inherently kind of monstrous. That's a way a lot of characters are coded. I'm wondering if people have that feeling about this character or not. I think when these things show up in older media, it's not even a conscious choice, it's just something that happens in a pattern. It popped up in my mind when he first showed up, but I wasn't sure how to articulate the question.
You killed him.
I killed him.
You're not gonna like her when she's angry. Ooh. This episode is paced really nicely, you know. This isn't one of my favourite episodes, but I will say it's paced very nicely. And it has gone pretty quickly for me. I have been yapping quite a lot, which might have something to do with it.
I know you didn't kill my father, Xena. You're not the person you were.
She needs to hear that so badly. You're not the person you were.
Sometimes people do things that they regret. Things which at the time seemed like the right thing to do.
I don't think you should regret it. I think you made the right decision giving him away. You were not...
We don't know if the things we do are right or wrong until much...
You were not capable at that time. And it's okay if you get pregnant and you're not in a position where you're capable or willing or wanting, then there are people out there who are. That's not... It's not wrong. She not so good with the words.
We'll always be friends. Don't you ever forget that. Gabrielle and I have got to be going now.
It's interesting. I do think she would kind of give up her life traveling and everything to like settle down with Solon. I think that a big part of her wants that. And in season 3, we see that as well. Before he dies, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to stay here with Solon, finally be a mother. But in season 5, when Gabrielle is thinking about staying with the Amazons, she really doesn't entertain it until a breakup is threatened. Acting. Okay. I think for me, Orphan of War is a 2.5 or 3 chakrams out of 5 episode, mostly because of the weak subplot. Very forced Gabrielle writing, the centaur stuff, everything. I think it's just it's nothing special. However, there are some really strong moments in it, and I think that it's a really crucial episode, obviously, for Xena in the canon. But we'll head on to episode 2, which is very much my preferred out of these two. They're using shots of Gabrielle in her old clothes. These must have been from season 1, huh?
That must have made your sister happy.
I mean, in addition to Lila.
How funny that Xena just accepts the fact that it's going to take literally like 10 times longer to get anywhere because Gabrielle insists on walking, and yet she still chooses to travel with her.
Comfort my brother Lycius, whose life you cut short this day 11 years ago.
I really enjoy getting to touch on her brothers.
I wish I could have known your younger brother.
Yeah, you guys would have gotten along.
It's not your fault. He chose to stand for something he believed in.
Yeah, me. Gabrielle, you don't know what it's like to take a life, let alone cause the death of someone you love.
Oh, but she's gonna.
The gods grant you never do.
I think the opening setup of this episode is also really, really great. And it really tells you everything you need to know right away. God's grant you never do know what it's like to take a life. I mean, that's really the whole... The episode really circles back to that. Yeah, oopsie. Man, she really kind of hates herself so much, though. For good reasons. She's still in these early stages, though. When something like this happens, she still feels the urge to just be alone and get away even from Gabrielle, to go through those emotions in solitude. Not fully willing to be vulnerable yet.
The gods, I wish I'd never followed the sword in the first place.
All is restored until the first time you draw blood and anger.
Interesting that the Fates are willing to do this. I mean, later in the show, they don't seem very pliable to things. I do like stories with the Fates, though. I always think they're interesting.
Gabrielle?
Yeah, Chica, when they said all is restored, they mean all.
Lycius?
We don't need to talk about the hair. We all know it's pretty horrific hairstyling. I don't know why they did this. Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking with one of you on the Death Mask video about Taurus being different. Taurus really looks a lot more like her. And we are reusing shots again.
I'm not sure about anything anymore.
You seem sort of, I don't know, funny.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes when things are too good to be true, they are. Too much of an easy answer, right?
Saved my life, remember?
How could I forget?
But I think this episode addresses a lot of misshapen ideas that she has about how, you know, if she hadn't done this one thing, that everything would have turned out perfect and right and nothing bad would have happened. When obviously life doesn't work like that. Obviously, ideally, she wouldn't have lost her brother, but... I don't know, I do feel like the show subscribes to this idea of what's meant to happen will happen. And things always find their way back to the right place, and trying to mess with that doesn't end well. I mean, you see it happen in Fates Collide. I'm trying to think of other episodes. The show believes in the idea of destiny and a sort of karmic balance as well. I love the Gabrielle stuff in this episode so much. And this is also one of the first times where we place a really great deal of importance on Gabrielle being on the right path. That becomes very important. I like that this episode doesn't really pay a lot of attention to this relationship as well.
Matthias. Of course.
Because you just understand that it's just such a moot point.
At least you got another suitor on the side.
Of course I don't. I hope.
Well, girl, with the way that you behave sometimes, it's not out of the question. She loves a side piece.
It was the last thing we promised her.
Promise too.
Yeah, there's always a trade-off. Get one person back, lose another. I suppose she views this as more tolerable because Serene would have been in so much pain losing Lycius.
It's anybody's fault, it's mine.
Sure.
Yeah, a responsibility, a big theme in this episode for me.
Right.
The first few episodes of season 2, structurally they have more in common with season 1 than the latter half of season 2.
The hardest thing is losing you and Gabrielle. It makes it easier just knowing that in this life I never shamed you.
Yeah, and she'll also view it as she's not putting Gabrielle in danger.
And Gabrielle never left her family, and I never led Lycius to tie him back.
Yeah, you think you're bad for her, and maybe you're right.
It's like Xena Warrior Princess never existed. The world's a better place without her.
Yeah, but you can't change who you are, not really. Not in that way.
That's as good as it gets.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she can't help herself. She's gonna have to step in when she sees things like this.
Next time, watch what you're doing. You might hurt someone.
Especially after watching the Hercules episodes, though, I do enjoy when she plays damsel-y and unassuming. It's fun.
Guess you'll be doing quite a lot of that, unless you're tired of the quiet life.
They do love to troll. They already know that she's gonna eventually have to give up on all of this. Here's our AU Gabrielle, who's basically an entirely different character. Yeah, girl, you're creeping her out.
Oh, you clumsy fool!
Don't touch her.
Yeah, not in her presence.
Wait, stop!
I love Gabrielle being the weak spot so much. It's so good.
Come on, you worthless slag. Come on. Move!
Yeah, a bit more complicated than you thought it was going to be.
I wasn't interfering. I was trying to save her.
Well, she's not your friend in this universe.
When are you gonna learn that you've got to go along to get along?
You're not the man for her.
No, this world might not be perfect, but my world wasn't perfect either. And I won't take my brother's life.
Yeah, neither world is perfect. Babe, that's the point.
Right for the picking. Like some other things around here.
I love all the spitting in the cup. It's just a fully different character. It's a lot of fun to see.
Thought Cortez was bad. What'll they think of us?
Also looks like they've given her harsher makeup. They've given her some bags under her eyes and...
What's so bad about wanting to help someone?
Lycius is great. Do you guys think that Lycius and Gabrielle share some traits? I've never thought about that before. Physically and in characterization. They're both fair-haired, both have light eyes, and they're both very inherently good and believe in stepping in no matter what. I mean, that's maybe why Lycius is attracted to Gabrielle. They do have quite a lot in common.
Men like that can't go unchallenged. Look what happened to the Amazons. And now where are they? Dead, mostly.
Yeah, they pretty much end up that way in whatever circumstance, though, don't they? Poor Amazons.
It's not your fault the world's the way it is. And with Mezentius lording it safely in his castle, what can you do?
Yeah, you can't fight your nature. You have a certain way of doing things. You're an active agent. You can't deny who you are. And the ripple effects of our actions, the consequences, and also the positive effects, they exist no matter what we do. There's always some sort of repercussion, things that we do and the things that we say. It doesn't mean that you can't want things to change or regret things. Of course you do, but at some point you have to just live with it.
Don't worry, it's me.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm just kidnapping you.
Gabrielle, I'm so sorry.
How do you know my name? Who are you?
My name is Xena.
I love that you can always feel it. Like, there's just always this little buzz in the air. In every universe, they're just going to be like magnets.
Maybe you don't know yourself.
Oh, I love that. I love that line. The show has the idea that if they're apart, they're never a fully realized version of themselves. Delicious. This action scene is wild. I remember one particular moment from it. She jumps out the roof or something.
Bye, boys.
So unbelievably hammy. I love this scene. My favorite scene of the episode.
My mother was about your size, so this ought to fit.
Size small.
It's beautiful. So is she. Guess I'll leave you to change.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you can't...
Xena's so soft here.
There is a reason I'm doing this.
Bestie.
Remind me of my best friend.
I do?
Oh, I love the tears in her eyes too.
The purest, kindest person I've ever known. Someone who's full of wonder and would never give up on anything. or anyone.
Bro, she loves her so much.
It's not me.
Oh, Lucy did such a good job there. With the face and the eyes. Her eyes literally sparkle in that scene. And I love that the words sound kind of strange coming out of Xena's mouth. Full of wonder and stories. It's typically not something you would think that she would say. You know, full of wonder. It's very romantic and, you know, it's very rainbows, bunnies, but it's just what Gabrielle does to her.
Won't you have a seat?
It's funny, Lycius liking her.
It's too good to be true.
I know what you mean.
Oh. One of those moments that potentially doesn't make sense depending on your headcanon for like what's going on for Xena right now. Because she's like, yeah, I love that he likes her.
Hey, what are you doing? We have a deal.
Deals change.
Why, you lying?
Bootlicker.
What's wrong with you? Get him!
Lycius.
It's wild seeing her just not even pick up the sword. It's so wrong. This episode has a lot of season 4 ideas running through its veins, I think.
Why didn't you pick up the sword?
Because I
was afraid.
Yeah, it's not a lie, is it?
But I'd rather die fighting these bastards than live with myself if I don't.
This is such a good Lucy acting episode. It's so good. The show is very consistent with lots of its ideas. Fighting for the greater good, against all odds. Hope breeds eternal misery. Spencer Hastings said that.
If it wasn't for you, I would never have known how it felt to be free again.
Yeah, double-edged sword.
I don't know whether to thank you or to hate you.
I love the expression on her face here.
Hate me.
Please, before I...
And the swallow when she says hate me, like that's the worst thing in the world.
He gave me hope. He made me think that maybe it wasn't too late for me.
Oh, that's really tough.
I reminded you of your friend.
No, you are my friend.
Season 2 really puts its foot to the floor. You know, it just intensifies everything. The emotional stakes of it feel so much more fully realized and alive. Great stuff. This is a really, really great episode, no?
Better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that wedding's doomed in any scenario, in any case.
Thanks for the tribute. Now I'll earn it.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Welcome to the party.
Lycius seems like he was just going to end up dead in any context, any universe, because he's just so insistent on taking on everything and everyone. Similarly to Gabrielle, like, you can't protect someone forever. They're going to make their own choices. You just can't control the universe like that.
Where are your table manners?
Very quippy, this episode. Is wild, and some of the really serious scenes of the show, something crazy will have just happened and still mid-fight, particularly in Callisto scenes. Xena still has time to make a Marvel-esque kind of joke, and you're sitting there saying, someone died 5 seconds ago.
Don't fight destiny.
Yeah. Yeah, don't fight destiny. It's great.
Gabrielle!
Problematic.
Here's your sweet thing.
And there's no reluctance in it. There's no sadness in it. She's happy. That'll sober you up real fast.
Goodbye, Lycius.
Again though, at this stage in the show, I've said this a few times, she projects a lot onto Gabrielle and wants to keep her exactly as she is, and there's not a lot of room for Gabrielle to be a person, really.
You've got a second chance. Swear you won't waste it by killing.
It's kind of just what happens when you believe in someone so much and they mean a lot to you and you place a lot of ideas on them.
What's this for?
Just for being you.
Uh-huh. You okay?
Yeah, she never does that.
You don't seem yourself.
I'm more myself than ever.
It's such a clever episode. I just realised I've been referring to this episode as Forget Me Not when it's actually called Remember Nothing. I don't know why or how I got that idea, but whatever. I'm reading my notes, or I'm trying to read my notes, and they're actually incomprehensible, but we're gonna try. I really appreciate this episode for reversing something that it does with its destiny storytelling. Most of the times that the show engages with this idea of Xena and Gabrielle being each other's destiny, it's mostly doing it within the context of Gabrielle being incredibly important to Xena's journey. But this episode switches that a bit and says, yeah, but Xena's also incredibly important to Gabrielle's, because in a very literal sense, Gabrielle's life would have been so much worse. Not just because she doesn't have her friend around, because she would have came to just a practical level of harm and abuse. And even though there's some contradictory stuff in the episode, I do also feel that Xena's growing love is very palpable here, just in the way that she talks to her and looks at her. Really the thing that pushes her to reject this version of reality and put things back to normal is the understanding that this isn't her version of Gabrielle. Like, it's just a little bit too different, and I don't think it's necessarily a selfish thing of, I want my version of her back. I mean, I think there's a little bit of that, of course, but I think it's mostly also wanting to spare Gabrielle from that path, that reality. There is the interesting thing, though, of Xena does have an idea of what Gabrielle, quote-unquote, should be like. And that's based on just wanting to protect her naivety and innocence. That's simply the way that she sees her. And I think it takes a lot of time for Gabrielle in the show to get enough breathing room to really start making some really big mistakes. Honestly, it's a good thing for a character to be able to make those big mistakes and to have those pillars of who they've been built up to be crumble a little bit, because that's how you evolve someone. That's how that you grow a character and do things that are subversive with them. The episode really does keep adding things to the scale, though. Every time that something is revealed to have been really not ideal in this new universe, she tries to just take on and be like, well, you know, the real world isn't perfect either, and that's all well and good, but the episode just keeps adding to it, adding, until it becomes way too much and it tips. I'm pretty sure the way of the warrior, or a wording similar to that, is actually used in the episode. So we've got some season 4 early foreshadowing here, not purposeful, I don't think, but we're starting to explore those ideas that's much earlier than I had remembered. I think the way this episode addresses a lot of Xena's underlying anxieties and regrets and just a lot of stuff that's under the surface, the episode tackles very directly. I think it's a really great character-driven piece of storytelling as well. And we also have the reoccurring idea that to live a quote-unquote normal life, Gabrielle and Xena would have to give up so much, which is something that we see come back time and time again, this idea of living as a quiet village woman and getting married and doing all the proper things. And of course, I know many of you connect with the found family queer aspect of this storytelling, leaving home and finding your own path and not aligning with those expectations. I think that's a really strong undercurrent in the entire series. Orphan of War, probably gonna go 3, just because I like the tension in that episode. I think I'll be nice to it and give it 3. Remember Nothing, that's a strong 4. I think if you're rewatching season 2 and you're not doing the entire season and you just want to watch select episodes, this is one that I would definitely never skip, because it is wrestling with things that the show ends up really entirely being about. So this was a great one to revisit. Orphan of War, I don't mind. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's fine. I don't think it's a strong start to the season. It feels very season 1. But Remember Nothing has AU vibes, it has fanfiction vibes, really, really good juicy parts of the show that we know and love. It has great Xena Gabrielle stuff. Some of the best Lucy moments so far, some of the best acting moments. So I was really, really happy to revisit this. I'll be back with episodes 3 and 4. We have a lesbian vampire episode coming up. I'm so excited about that one because I'll be able to use my background in writing about film and television. I'll be able to get into my film criticism bag and talk about exploitation films, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for starting season 2 with me. I'm glad to have you with me. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.